Greetings, comrades. When we made a request or a proposal that domestic workers who are undocumented should be granted special permits, we came under attack. Do the cleaning, preparing meals, doing laundry. It goes beyond that. It is about trust. This is where the component of critical comes in.
Okay, so guys, listen to this. He says domestic work goes beyond just cleaning and what not. The critical part of domestic work is trust. So this guy is about to literally say that Abalungu do not trust South Africans, they trust foreigners more. Yes, I'm telling you that right now. If you're still watching, I hope your heart is strong, because this guy is about to say a lot.
So the domestic worker keeps the bank card, has access to the finances of the employer. But because of the trust that he has developed over the years, the domestic worker does not run away with the bank card. You can imagine giving someone
How do you expect me to trust an individual that entered the country illegally and is breaking a law to fully trust that person who spends every day of their life maneuvering the system in order to stay in the country, who knows how to maneuver the system and live in this country illegally, acquire things in this country illegally? How can I trust a person like that? Because the day they decide to disappear, they can also disappear the same way, which they've proven they can do. But anyways, he has something to teach us.
It is not everyone that can be trusted to an extent that they keep their employer's card and not run away. Remember, this person is undocumented. Their fingerprints are not with the Department of Home Affairs. They can disappear without trace, but they've remained with their employer for years.
This guy wants us to believe that there are illegal foreigners there, that they've remained with their employers for years, and the employers have given them their business cards, bank cards, access to their finances, where they can take up to 300,000 and disappear, and they've not. So guys,
but the challenge is that they are not documented. Renew the ZEP. A new worker comes in, this comrade might actually die. Right?
Whew, you can't make this shit up, eh? So apparently, there was a comrade somewhere, who would have died if their domestic worker was sent back to Zimbabwe, because he had created an emotional bond with this domestic worker. Guys, you can't make this shit up. Guys,
like I have said, that it is not about cleaning the house. It is not about doing laundry. It is not about preparing kids to go to school. It's a bond that has developed over the years. There's this understanding. But in the most of cases, then these domestic workers are not documented.
yo, what's happening, guys? Topo Uncle P with another episode of Uncle P's podcast. So obviously the Zimbabwean topic is trending, it's going crazy. Everybody's losing their mind. But you know what, guys, there's always those messages that come through that makes you realize, you know what, you're doing a good job, Uncle P. Don't give up. You got the right support. You got people that understand. Uncle P, thank you for giving us this platform to share our views. As citizens fighting illegal foreigners is a small matter we can do that anytime. Don't mind those who threaten to fight back. They cannot do nothing. This is our soil. We fought whites with stones while they carried guns. We died, but we multiplied. Amen. We cannot be defeated by cowards who run away from their countries. The heroes are still in fighting for their lives in Zimbabwe. Nigeria and Somalia and what we got here are runaway crybabies. Very true. The true heroes of Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Congo are in their countries fighting. But I'm a law-abiding runaway. I came to somebody's country and I behaved, followed the dialogue, kept my mouth shut, And then South African says, today we are doing the gwaza. I gwazad. Today we're doing the he said, today we are doing the pantula. I pantulad. Your problem is, you did not nyatela mo demoni when you were supposed to nyatela it. So the demon became you. Now you are hating me because I've been loved and accepted by a society that I integrated myself in. You are supposed to integrate, but when now you came here, you decided you want to do your things your own way. Now the consequences are befalling you, which I've proven in these videos. And now you come to cry and you want to threaten to analyze me. The thing is, South Africans are not united in fighting illegal foreigners. As you can see, the proof on the Operation Dudula is just a few numbers, which is true. And the problem is, I've proven it in these videos. Even Gaten McKenzie's accountant is a Zimbabwean. Our universities and everything are hiring foreigners. If you go to any mall, any restaurant, foreigners are still working. South Africans will enter into those restaurants, they will sit, they will get served by these foreigners, they will pay them tips. The celebrities, especially South African celebrities, they praise and protect foreigners. Those are not essential jobs, guys. And this is where the issue becomes. Because you are not protecting these small jobs, foreigners now have this mindset that South Africans are lazy and they don't care for these jobs. And South Africans have done nothing to prove that they do care for these jobs. Because when those jobs are free, South Africans don't take them. The reason that South Africans don't take them, because those jobs, they try to abuse people by paying them less than minimum wage. Now, foreigners, you know what, man, guys? This lady wrote quite a long message, okay? I'm going to put some of these messages in the end that I really liked. But I want us to break down this video so that we can get to the topic of today. So this video is from 9 months ago. Domestic. The guy titled it. Give me a second, guys, because I did a screen recording on this video. He titled it, "Domestic Work is Critical." So according to this guy, domestic work in South Africa is critical. His channel, you'll see his channel here. He's got 31,000 subscribers, a big channel. But this video, by the time I got it, it had around 11,000 views. Okay, let's listen to what he has to say. I'm assuming he's a Zimbabwean because he's very proud about what he's saying.
Greetings, comrades. When we made a request or a proposal that domestic workers who are undocumented should be granted special permits, we came under attack.
So basically, they made a request at a specific time 9 months ago that domestic workers who are undocumented should become documented. And he's going to give his reason, his reason why he thinks that domestic workers should become documented in South Africa. I promise you, it's 4 minutes something or 5 minutes right now. If you are not watching this video, you are missing out. And this is the type of mentalities that Zimbabweans have in South Africa, and Malawians. And South Africans, you need to understand this mindset. And I will now debunk this mindset and make you understand why this mindset is very rotten. Let's go.
We had made this submission when the then Minister of Home Affairs invited submissions as part of the white paper discussion on international migration. Since then, we have been doing consultations with the workers that are in this industry. We have been speaking to the employers themselves. So
first thing is first, they've been talking to workers and employers. So he's admitting that they know these illegal foreigners. And in South Africa, there's a law. If you're harboring illegal foreigners, you go to jail. So he's admitting to this. So guys, let's first admit, problem number one is the South African law. They know of these illegal foreigners. They just don't care. But let's continue to listen, because he says they're even speaking to the employers.
A lot of things have been revealed to us, which were unknown to us at the time we made the proposal. This is why we come to the conclusion that domestic work is critical. What we have come to understand is that domestic work, in the most of cases, is not about one getting to the house, which is their workplace, do the cleaning, preparing meals, doing laundry. It goes beyond that. It is about trust. This is where the component of critical comes in.
Okay, so guys, listen to this. He says domestic work goes beyond just cleaning and whatnot. The critical part of domestic work is trust. So this guy is about to literally say that Abalungu do not trust South Africans, they trust foreigners more. Yes, I'm telling you that right now. If you're still watching, I hope your heart is strong, because this guy is about to say a lot. Let's listen.
Some employers that we spoke to, they are saying to us that they are too busy because of their work, the businesses that they run, and cannot even have time to do shopping. They depend on their domestic workers to do shopping for them. This means a domestic worker is then given a bank card to do the shopping. So the domestic worker keeps the bank card, has access to the finances of the employer. But because of the trust that he has developed over the years, the domestic worker does not run away with the bank card. You can imagine giving someone your bank card.
So first of all, this guy is talking bullshit. I used to have in Zimbabwe a domestic worker. My neighbors have, all these Mulungus have them. Never. Guys, there's one even, she doesn't even have the key to the house. When they leave the locker inside, she can't go in or out. They've told the security guard, this woman, if you see her, don't let her out. Press the alarm. Guys, listen. Do we keep lying? The reason why white people hire these people is because they pay them below minimum wage. They make them do so much work that they were supposed to be earning over 20K. But they pay them so little and mistreat them. That's the only reason why they hire them. Why are we trying to make it sound fancy? And listen, those ones that are lucky that their employers give them cards are legal in the country. They are not illegal. They are legal in the country. The employer can track them. They got families. They've got children. Don't lie. Do not lie. I know those ones you are talking about. It's not illegal. You see, the problem is they want to spew lies and make look like what they are doing, which is wrong, is right. If domestic working is such a critical job, why are you not doing it in your country? Is there no cleaning needed in your country? Nobody needs cleaning in Zimbabwe. Or everyone that is got a house in Zimbabwe can do their own cleaning. Only in South Africa that you can't do cleaning. Did you guys not chase white people out of your country?
Don't mind having and bearing sanctions banning us from Europe. We are not Europeans. We have not asked for any inch of Europe or any square inch of that territory. So, Blair, keep your England and let me keep my Zimbabwe.
Now you are coming to South Africa to just clean their country, to clean their houses again. Make it make sense. How is it that you chase them out of your country? Oh, they're going to say, we didn't chase them, Mugabe did Masipa, you see. But anyways, let's continue to listen.
They discover that you have 300,000 in the bank card. And we know what money does to all of us. But you have domestic workers.
Guys, I can tell you guys stories about how many domestic workers have unalived their employers, they've stolen, cleaned houses, even just in my own area. But let's not drag this. Let's listen to Minir.
That have resisted this temptation to borrow from the Christian word. They have resisted this temptation to abuse the finances or to even withdraw the money and run away. So the fact that there's this trust, it means this becomes critical. Of course, a critical work is defined academically in terms of one's certificates, whether the skills are available.
So you understand what critical means. He does. He's a smart man. But now listen to his reasoning behind what he's saying. Because remember, guys, you can twist and bend anything to fit your narrative, especially if it benefits you. Let's listen.
Valuable. And then naturally, a domestic worker cannot, in that context, be said to be critical, because any person can do work. But not anyone can be trusted. That's where the difference is.
But not anyone can be trusted. So only foreigners can be trusted. Only Zimbabweans. Should I bring the stats of crime in South Africa and break it down by nations, which I've already done, and show you who do the most crime in this country? How do you expect me to trust an individual that entered the country illegally and is breaking a law to fully trust that person, who spends every day of their life maneuvering the system in order to stay in the country, who knows how to maneuver the system and live in this country illegally, acquire things in this country illegally? How can I trust a person like that? Because the day they decide to disappear, they can also disappear the same way, which they've proven they can do. But anyways, he has something to teach us.
It is not everyone that can be trusted to an extent that they keep their employer's card and not run away. Remember, this person is undocumented. Their fingerprints are not with the Department of Home Affairs. They can disappear without trace, but they've remained with their employer for years.
This guy wants us to believe that there are illegal foreigners there, that have remained with their employers for years, and the employers have given them their business cards, bank cards, access to their finances, where they can take up to 300,000 and disappear, and they've not. So guys, these stories of truck drivers running away with trucks, disappearing with money and all that, is that made up? You see, the problem is, it depends on the following that you have. You see, I got 6,200 and something subscribers. So this is where my message is going. Depending on how many people watch this video and watch it in full, it determines how many people have gotten this message. He's got around 31,000 subs. That's how many people he lied to. 11,000 of those people watched it. I don't know how many people watched it in full. I'm one of the subscribers that watched. I'm not a subscriber, but I'm one of the viewers that watched it in full and heard this nonsense. And people can start believing these things, especially when international people listen to this kind of nonsense. That's why you see today Donald Trump, where Dalela is listening, is becoming Dululu, listening to things and hearing things that he was not supposed to be hearing. Because why? People don't know truth. Nobody living in the country, especially foreigners, are saying, no. What this is, unamanga, they are lying, it's not true. But we continue to listen.
This trust has developed between the two. And by the way, when we made the proposal, we said they are paid below minimum wage. This category of domestic workers that we are talking about is not being paid below minimum wage. They are paid above minimum wage because of the trust that is developed.
Oh, so apparently they are illegal immigrants that are paid above minimum wage, not below. So he's okay with the ones that are paid below minimum wage to be sent back home. But is he going to say it?
But the challenge is that they are not documented. I remember some few years back, just after the announcement that the Zimbabwe exemption payment was not going to be extended, government said it was going to continue with the ZEP. I was talking to one comrade who's a minister. Like I always say that we do talk to politicians across political divide, but we cannot give details and start name dropping in public platforms. But this minister was saying to me that after cabinet had taken a decision not to renew ZEP, they discovered, this minister says to me, they discovered that one of their elderly comrades, who was an exile, who contributed to the struggle against apartheid, was ill. had developed this bond with a domestic worker who also trained in caregiving. They came, because this domestic worker is on ZEP, they came to the conclusion that after critical observation of their elderly comrade and the relationship, work relationship, that had developed between the elderly comrade and the domestic worker, they came to the conclusion that if this domestic worker will not be able to renew the ZEP, a new worker comes in, this comrade might actually die. Right?
Oh my God. Whew, you can't make this shit up, eh? So apparently, there was a comrade somewhere, who would have died if their domestic worker was sent back to Zimbabwe because he had created an emotional bond with this domestic worker. Guys, you can't make this shit up. Guys, this thing is long. It's up to 12 minutes long. There's still 6 minutes of it going. We've already reached up to 20-something minutes. The recent episodes have been long because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that I'm trying to show foreigners. And what I'm trying to show foreigners is that we are the problem. I'm going to play the rest of this video at the end of the show. You guys can watch it and hear what more he says. And I just want to say to Zimbabweans, this mindset is very wrong. If you guys are such hard workers and if you guys are such critical workers, go fix Zimbabwe. You guys are fighting the war the wrong way. You guys can keep telling me, yeah, you also go fight in Angola, you also go fight in Angola. Aye, baba. You can threaten to unalive me. But guys, you need to understand, I know the consequences of my channel. I've lost friends, I've lost business opportunities. It's very hard. Life hasn't been easy since this channel started booming. You know, making money has become super hard because I'm self-employed, you know, I hustle, you know. But I also believe in living with purpose and living with truth. And my truth is that I've always been a fighter and a message of the truth. And the truth is that I live in a country that is beautiful. It has amazing opportunities, and it's sinking because of what you guys are saying, my brothers and sisters, which are foreigners, since you guys want me to refer to you guys as that. So the decision is yours on whether we're going to end up having South Africans behave the way the Americans are behaving today, and they will collect all of us. Yes, including me. But hey, you never know. I might just be safe, man. I'm your boy, Uncle P. I shall see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
This is how critical it was. So there are these instances. Like I have said, that it is not about cleaning the house. It is not about doing laundry. It is not about preparing kids to go to school. It's a bond that has developed over the years. There's this understanding. But in the most of cases, then these domestic workers are not documented. And they will not be documented because the law says it is not a critical skill to work as a domestic worker. We speak to journalists, some journalists, not all journalists, because journalists do not have normal working hours, most of them. And they employ, some of them, they employ migrants as domestic workers. In the middle of the night at 10 p.m., there's a breaking store that they have to rush and cover. They then depend on the domestic work to take care of the family. They are assigned trips, or they will go and camp outside their homes as part of a breaking story for 3 days without coming home. They have to depend on the domestic work to take care of the family. And the other domestic workers, of course, they are bad apples. There are those domestic workers that invite thugs at their workplace, they steal at the workplace, they will continue to steal. But there are those that have developed this trust. Some journalists, like we have been talking to them because they are employers, And they've pointed out that, yes, indeed, we have developed this bond.
PMD offers third-party car insurance that you can trust from as little as 167 Rand.
Between ourselves as employers and the employees who are domestic workers. But the challenge is documentation. Then, of course, there are professionals who work in emergencies, your medical doctors, your nurses, and so forth, who will be called when there's emergency, and they will need a domestic worker to take care of the family. So after doing these consultations, talking to workers, talking to employers, we then came to the conclusion that indeed this is a critical work. In our submission, we made a blanket submission to say grant every domestic work. But we are amending our submission based on the consultations that we've done, that special permits should be granted only to those domestic workers that have worked for one employer for more than 5 years. Surely, when you have someone that has worked for you for 5 years, trust has developed. It is this group of workers that we advocate for. And of course, politicians. And when we talk of politicians, people think that we talk of the ANC. Politicians across the board, opposition parties, and so forth, they spend most of their time not at home. And they depend on domestic workers to take care of their families. Some domestic workers assist the kids in doing homework. You have those that were trained as teachers either in Zimbabwe or other countries who work as domestic workers. And they provide this service to the kids of their employers. So as we conclude, domestic work in some cases is critical. And we advocate for the granting of special permits only to the domestic workers that their employers can provide proof that this worker has been working for us for the last 5 years but is not documented, and they be granted special permits because they are providing a critical service to the people who are running the South African economy. Please write in the comment section.